Hello, boys and girls. Don't mind Annabella over here. She's doing my hair, playing with my hair, whatever she's doing. So just don't mind her while we record this video. Wanted to show you what we're going to do today. We already went through Wednesday on our last video. We're just going to take a look at it again for one quick minute, and then we're going to spend more time on Thursday, which is what we need to do is to describe a rectangle, partition, or split up into rows and columns. Okay, we've talked about rows and columns before. A row is like laying down, and a column is going up and down. Okay, row, column. Can you do it with me like we used to do it in the classroom? Row, column. Row, column. Row, column. Excellent. All right, so let's get started and go to our quick review of Wednesday. Page 3, right here. So this is where you guys needed to draw a line to split these shapes into halves. That means 2 equal parts, okay? Just like Ezra drew a line to divide this rectangle in half right here. See? This is 1 part and this is 2 parts, and they are the exact same size. So they are equal. They're the same in terms of how big they are. And she also divided or partitioned a circle right here. And both these parts are also 2 equal or the same size. So they're divided into halves. And your job was to divide this rectangle and this circle into halves as well, same equal sizes, just in a different way. So if you already did that, it might have looked like this. Sorry, I don't have a ruler. And I'm not going to do it with the circle because the circle is already horizontal. I'm going to do it vertically, up and down, like that. See? Your job was to also say what is the same and what is different from these shapes and how they were divided. Okay, so let's move down. They divided it into 4 equal parts in fourths. And you were supposed to divide this rectangle into fourths, just a different way. All right, so today we're talking about describing a rectangle partitioned into rows and columns. All right, so a row is a side-by-side horizontal line. Horizontal, meaning like laying down. This is a row. Row, 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 column. Row, 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 column. Row, row, row your boat. Maybe this can help you remember. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Column. Row, 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 column. Row, 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 column. So a row is always going to be a line that is like laying down, and a column is always going to be up and down. All right, so these in green are the rows, and these in red are the columns, okay? Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, side by side, side by side, side by side. All right, so your job today for Thursday is to circle the rectangle that was partitioned into the same size squares and explain your thinking. Same size square. So I'm not going to tell you the answer, but I'm going to tell you which one I know for sure it's not partitioned or divided into equal squares, because it has to be squares that are the same size. I'm looking at B right here, and I see that there's this square is the same as this square, and it's the same as this square, and this square, and this square, and this square. Those are all squares that are the same size. But what about this one and this one? Do they seem like they're the same size as this one and this one? No, this is like a much bigger square, and this is like a rectangle. It's not even a square. So Is B, the shape in B, did they divide all that shape into equal squares? No, some of them are bigger than others, some of them are not even squares. So it's definitely not B. Okay, so your job is to find which one of these shapes was divided into equal squares. All the squares inside that shape have to be the same, okay? Rectangle I know it's not going to be rectangle B. Rectangle shows same size squares probably because they're all the same sizes, but you decide which one shows that, okay? Then what you're going to keep doing is choose A, B, C, or D. Which one describes this rectangle and how it's divided or partitioned? It has 5 rows and 3 columns. Remember that rows go sideways. This is one row, this is another row, and this is another row. So this rectangle has 1, 2, 3 rows. All right? But if we're talking about columns, remember that columns go up and down, up and down. So this is 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns. So this rectangle has 3 rows and 5 columns. So you decide which one of these is the answer that best describes this rectangle and how it was divided into squares. All right? And I know we said we were going to only go through Thursday, but now that we're here on Friday, and I have Friday right here, I want you to draw a rectangle using this dot paper right here and describe the rows and the columns. So it says, draw a rectangle that is filled with 18 same size squares. So you're going to have to, I'm going to do this with a pencil because I might make a mistake and I want to be able to erase it. All right? So you're going to draw a rectangle. It can't be a square. It has to be a rectangle that has 18. Just want to make it a little bit closer. That has 18 same size squares. So let me see if I make it a little here, a little there, a little there. Let's see. If I make columns right here and then rows inside the rectangle, will they be 18? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I'm going to have to add another row and column. There we go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I did it. And are all of these squares are the same size. All of these squares are the same size. I love that the dot paper helps me determine that, helps me draw it and make sure they're all the same size. So I would say that my rectangle, my drawing has, let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And then it has 1, 2, 3 columns. Remember that rows go from side to side and columns go up and down. All right? So your job on Friday too is to draw a rectangle in a different way. So we drew a rectangle with 18 same size squares. You're going to draw a different rectangle that is filled with 18 same size squares here. All right, and then you're going to tell me your new drawing has how many rows and how many columns, remembering that rows is side to side and columns are up and down. Okay? And then answer your question on the bottom. Why can both drawings work? All right? Because remember, a shape doesn't have to be one single way. It can be drawn in many different ways as long as rectangles have two long sides and two shorter sides. The two long sides are the same size and the two shorter sides are also the same length. Okay? So make sure that it has four corners, four sides. You got it? All right, so there's a lot today. So feel free to go back to this video Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday so that you can review what you need to do for each of those days in the packet. Okay, everybody? All right. I hope you stay safe. I miss you. I'm sure you're working really hard at home and trying your best. Just remember to help mom and dad with whatever they need at home too, and brothers and sisters, okay?